This is a follow-up to the whole
Stefan Burns
thing, which kind of pissed me off, and kind of got me onto him was from another friend who's a geologist, and he's like, who is this guy? He's coming up with all these weird theories. And I had kind of heard of him, but then I woke up the other morning and I heard the whole thing about Mount Etna, and I was kind of scrolling the news to see stuff, and which I put in my previous video. And I came to his page, and I was like, what the hell kind of shit is this guy into? Actually, hold on. I'm going to start. If you click on the more here, it tells you I cover solar activity, space, weather, planetary alignments, geophysical, energetic events, so we may all better understand the quality of energies of the solar system and Earth. I believe this helps the spiritual and conscious evolution of journey. I also discuss health and wellness topics, blah, 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 earthing and grounding, which is a whole other, I don't even know anything about it, but it's definitely not science-based. I mean, if you're for it, whatever, that's fine. That's your prerogative to do that. But the problem that I have with him is that he's going on and making these really bold claims as a geophysicist, which he's not. He worked for a company doing geophysical work. That's the other thing here. Like I looked up. Let's see if I can get to this. LinkedIn. Yeah, there we go. So let's check out his profile. And so, geophysicist, author, human is what you just find when you go in there, and then you go in the about section, and it's quite a lengthy blah 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 about. He's a senior geophysicist with geometrics who earned his Bachelor of Science in Geology at the UC Davis. And then he had a few other companies that he worked with. And then if you scroll down to, so this is the company that he worked at, Geometrics, or whatever, Geometrics. So they do electrical electronics manufacturing. They're based out of San Jose, powering geoscientists everywhere to explore quality of the world since 1969. So a pretty big company. They've been around for a while. Kind of took me out of what he did, though. Oh, here we go. See more. So he was a senior geophysicist, project lead from 2020 to 2021. And like this year is 2025. And so that got me thinking. So I contacted Geometrics, and they actually wrote me back. I said I had some concerns about this guy. I'm like, does he actually work for you? Yesterday and then today, I got a couple of letters back from some of the staff, and they're basically trying to distance themselves from him. They don't support his views in pseudoscience. I'm paraphrasing here, but I think like one of them was saying like he's gone off the deep end with pseudoscience. Anyway, I don't want any of them to get in trouble for for this. But then I went back to his page here, and it talks about like his activity in that. So his latest thing, so the Geometrics was July 2020 to August 2021. So a little over a year that he worked for them. And he did, they list up all the different things that he did and stuff. But his recent thing here, it's called a research sabbatical. And he's available for geophysical fieldwork and data processing, none of which I'm sure he does. But he also says he's doing this sabbatical and doing a deep dive into herbalism, electromagnetism, magnetometry, electromagnetic therapy, Russian language, I don't know what that's about, magnetallurgics, permaculture design, growth, marketing, blockchain economics. Okay, look, I'm not saying he's a dumb guy. He's clearly well educated. But like some of the stuff that he's like going on about is it's not related to anything that's like going to be science as far as like the peer-reviewed science. So scrolling back up here to the top, I also came across this other thing, this wild and free organic. So I guess this is his webpage. The first thing that comes up is these boots for $228.95, like expensive boots, but like ultimate earthing boots. This earthing thing. I don't know what this whole earthing thing is, but it's not anything I'm really interested in. And then he has this whole other section on fasting, herbal teas, earth. Yeah, there's this. Oops, no, I don't want to sign up for your thing. This is the whole thing with earthing. Live your most vital, join the community. What do we got here? Oh, he's lifting weights. Oh, Christ. Like, look at this. Like, he looks like Jesus. And then he's clearly into like body health and stuff, yoga, more earthing stuff. Herbalism. Anyway, I mean, like I say, like if you're into that, fine. But like I said, the specific thing that I had an issue with was the whole geophysics part of it. So like, here, I'll do a little search here. Geophysicist. So geophysicist is someone who studies the earth using gravity, magnet, electrical, and seismic methods, all of which he did. I mean, I read through some of the stuff, and he did seismological studies through this company, where it's where you take a scanner and you scan the ground, and up comes information that tells you what's underground. Yeah. Some geophysicists spend most of the time outdoors studying various features of Earth, and others spend most of the time indoors using computers and modeling and calculations. There's a whole thing on Wikipedia about geophysics. That's a subject of natural science. Anyway, like it's a thing, but here's the get a geophysicist degree. This is the part that I found kind of interesting that does not really apply to him. I mean, he's using it. So this is the AI review. To become a geophysicist, a minimum of a bachelor's degree is relevant in the field is typically required, with many employers preferring a master's or PhD. Common bachelor degree paths include geophysics, geology, physics, mathematics. So I guess, here's the thing. Entry level positions. A bachelor's degree in geophysics, geology, physics, and related fields can be sufficient for entry level positions. And like I said before, like I read the thing about the company that he worked for them a year. If you want to do advanced roles, you require a master's and a PhD degree. And the type of stuff that he's doing is kind of cutting edge. Like he's saying things that nobody else is saying. Like solar storms cause earthquakes, swarms of earthquakes, and then this whole Mount Etna, the volcanic eruption, and then people are like, his fans are saying, "Oh, he predicted this." Okay, I would really like for Stefan to publish a paper and have other geophysicists look at that work, peer reviewed. I believe in peer review. You know, if you don't believe in science, I don't know what to do for you. But if one person comes up with an idea, the important thing with science is it needs to be agreed on by other people who study similar sciences. And he doesn't do that. So until he's been peer reviewed, and honestly, like from the people that I've talked to, I have friends who are geophysicists. I have friends that are geology professors, YouTube geology folks on YouTube and stuff like that. I've asked a bunch of people, and they're like, no, like this correlation of having solar activity cause earthquakes and tectonic activity and volcanism. No, and not a real thing. It doesn't happen. So, you know, I put a challenge out to Stefan, publish. I'll read the work, and then also a bunch of other people who know geophysics will read the work, not entry-level positions in geophysics. So somebody who's got master's level, who's actually studied physics and all that stuff, like you've done your bachelor's of science and that, but like, dude, I I don't know what else to say. Like, you're a charlatan. You're peddling pseudoscience, and um, I think you should be called out for it. That's what I'm doing. People don't like it. People don't like that I'm calling you out on your bullshit, and pseudoscience. You know, but sorry, needs to be done.